Hello everyone. I hope you're having a good night so far. And I'm going to try to make it even better. This may or may not work, but we'll never know unless we try, huh? Also, Entity, welcome on in. Thank you so much. Blow up a house? No. I steer end early? Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the pilot of The Monsters Bookshelf. Now, we're gonna get into what that means. Hey Mal, just checking in before I go to bed. Hi, Flirty! Ah! Thank you, Aaron, for reminding me I need to turn that off. Let me do that real quick. Now, I just stop! Come on! OMG, the stuff. Yeah, I got my animals, my friends. I'll stick around to see what's up, though. Okay, thank you, Flirty. Now, I bet y'all are wondering what's happening here. What is the Monsters Bookshelf? But before we can get into that, well, first of all, I'm going to turn off the Explosion Redeem, just really quick, because this is meant to be relaxing sleep aid sort of stream. Oh, fuck! Stop! Guys! Hang on. Where is it? There it is. Okay, it's gone. Now. Alright. Now, before, listen, chaos is my state of being. Love that, thank you. Now, before we can get into what I'm gonna do tonight, as you can see, I have to reset the goal again. As you can see from the little goal widget down there, it was at 263, and now it's at 262. I guess I upset someone, but it's fine. Look at this studious ass, yes. But, hooray, yay! But regardless of losing one person or not, we have met the first goal of the follow-thon. Yes, I'm scholarly. Because we met our first goal of 260 followers, I owe you guys a tweet. So let's go over here really quick. Okay. And let me get Twitter. Because I'm trying to help you guys out here with some relaxation, I am going to turn Twitter off of bright mode. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now, let's get this up. Yeah, beautiful functioning website. All right. Where? Let's first start. All right. And for your reward, those of you who are here get to help me write a tweet. All right. that was the reward for reaching 260 followers. You guys get to write a tweet for me, and then I will put it on my Twitter for everyone to see. And we're going to do this before we get into the stream, all right? All right, so I'm at your mercy. You guys decide amongst yourselves. Yeah, I have water. That's good. I'm going to need it. You guys decide amongst yourselves what you want me to tweet, and I will tweet it. The keyboard is your canvas. All right. Let's see. I will mention that I don't have everything. I confess, I'm a sub, the subbiest sub ever. You fool, I'm a switch. What if instead of Lisa the Painful, it was called Lisa the in Papyrus Font? Freaky and Brad ate ass and sucked it. Tweet a recommendation for a YouTuber? You should totally tweet the chat is amazing and awesome. Okay, hang on. I'm probably gonna need a poll so you guys can vote, because we have a few good recommendations so far. Slash... Can I just slash poll in chat? Yes. On a related note, happy Pride Month, everyone. Alright. Alright, fuck, this is taking up the chat window, so I can't see chat. Hang on. New window. Oh, thank you for the chair change. I forget I have that- I keep forgetting I have that set up automatically now. Specifically, Skawo. I think they're pretty underrated. Let's see. Let's make a poll. Because you guys have some good suggestions so far. Make a poll. New poll. Alright. The subbiest sub tweet. Let's see. What other suggestions do people have? Freaking Lisa the Painful. I don't know much about Lisa the Painful, I'm gonna be real. Let's see. Pride Month thing. No, the Pride Month is gonna add. We're gonna put that in no matter what. that goes at the end of any tweet. Well, it will be on a related note. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Chat is amazing. Or, let's see. Our YouTuber recommendation. I think the sub one fits the Happy Pride Month, to be honest. Well, let's put up the poll for about a minute, and then we'll see. And then you guys can, if the YouTuber one wins, you guys can decide what YouTuber. Unless they're like racist. Please don't, please no racists. Okay, and you can have additional votes, sure. And we're gonna do 1 minute is the last thing we can do, so. All right, that'll be up for a minute. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell Twitter that I am a sub, apparently. As far as I can tell. Not entirely inaccurate, I suppose. I've only learned that about myself recently, though. Now, while that poll goes on, I will tell you about the current stream and what we're gonna do, just a little bit. So I don't have everything perfectly set up right now. I don't have everything perfectly set up for what I want these streams to be. It's a little bit slapdash right now, but that's okay because this is not meant for, this is just the pilot episode, so this is not meant to be the perfect experience of my idea. This is meant to gauge community interest and to see if this is something that I should turn into a series. All right. Happy Pride Month. All right, I gotta tell Twitter I'm a sub. Oh yeah, Pride Month. Hey chat, how we share our flags? I would, I'm wearing like 3 of my flags. add the the male loving male flag in there. The aerospec flag for me. So questioning, excellent. We appreciate questioning people here. All right, let me go back to Aaron's thing. Okay, great, just great. Oh, I'm never gonna live. They're never gonna let me live this down, huh? They're never gonna let me live this down, huh? Okay. All right, so let's close that. Got a lot of flags here. And let's copy paste that. I'm gonna get rid of the quotation marks. That would kind of defeat the purpose. And then the on a related note, Happy Pride Month. We can't forget that part. Can't forget that part. I need to follow you on Twitter. I'll follow you back, Entity. Absolutely. And then, on a related note, Happy Pride Month, everyone. Okay. This is not completely out of character for me. I'm going to be real. Maybe an opportunity for people to share their flags? Yeah. Okay. On a related note, Happy Pride Month, everyone. Oh, pardon me. How about we feel free to share your flags below. All right. How are we feeling about this tweet, chat? You guys are the ones that are here, so you get to decide the tweet. So are we feeling good about this tweet? Do we want to send it out? Amazing? All right. Seems like good consensus. All right. Oh God, I gotta crack my knuckles. I love it. All right, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Prince Aaron, for all the interesting DMs I'm probably going to get soon. All right, that's our first reward of the follow-thon. And if you type, reminder that if you type !follow-thon in chat, then you can get the link to all of the different rewards that we are aiming for. And you are followed. Yay! Thank you. I'm going to try. It's hard for me to keep a more low-key energy, but I think I can do it. What if we made September an Arial Freaky month? There we go. I think this is a good tweet. And I don't know how to do other fonts on Twitter, so we're just gonna go with this. All right. Oh, Godspeed. God damn it. All right, and there's Entity. Follow you back. All right. Close that out. Can't wait for 400. Ooh, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it that far. I'm gonna try some new tricks to grow, including this stream series we're gonna try, the Entity. But I'm not sure how far I'm gonna get, to be honest. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see how far we get by the end of summer. Maybe you should watch Bible Man for 40k. Can you even imagine? I don't do anything interesting enough for 40k. If I can reach 1,000 followers at some point, then it's like that would be pretty good. But I actually have to put effort into, you know, my content and learning how to be better for that. By the way, chat, please let me know. Is the music right now, is it quiet but audible? Like, it's not overpowering my voice or anything, is it? Is it just, I want it to be sort of a soft sort of a thing. You should kill people. I think people find that really interesting. That would be pretty interesting. I mean, look at Jeff the Killer. Look at Jeff, my man Jeff. Look at how popular he got for murdering and cutting off his eyelids. All right. The music is suitable. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Okay, look at all the yaoi he got. Exactly. I want a piece of that financial pie. Rachel, I know you should be sleeping right now, and this will help. For once, you can stick around because this is meant to help you. Okay, we got the reward out. Also, Rachel, I'm so sorry. You just missed us making the tweet for the reward. Music is hearable, but really quiet. We can raise it a little bit more then. But I already slept? Oh, okay. This will just be for relaxation for you then. Okay. All right, let me get my my good voice on. Once again, I will say hello everybody and welcome to the pilot episode of The Monsters Bookshelf. Now, I'm gonna explain. Your voice is so soothing. Thank you so much. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for these streams. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how I came up with this idea first, and then what the idea is. I just fall asleep to it. That's the idea. So let me explain this to you. I was feeling really insecure at some point about the quality of my content, about the fact I'm not really doing anything original. I was thinking to myself, I want to try to make some more original content that stands out a bit from other VTubers. And that I wanted to do more things related to the softer parts of my aesthetic. I wanted to have some streams where I can more lean into that sort of softer aesthetic, sort of cozy vibes. Because usually I'm just loud. What if you beatboxed on stream? No. We can save that for another stream. Maybe we'll do a karaoke stream at some point, now that my mic isn't fucked. But yeah. So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about what kind of things I could do that would be more original, things that might help me grow a little bit more, might vibe with people a little more, specifically with the cozier aspect of my design. So, I had an extended crisis. Me sleeping and suddenly beatboxing Malice shows up. Oh, I'm the demon. I'm the sleep paralysis demon. Except one that just reads to you. Think I could sleep on your character? I have a lot of sharp edges. You'd have to pick a careful spot. You have to, like, pick the tummy. The tummy's soft. But yeah, let me tell you a little bit more. So I was having those thoughts. I'd be paralyzed by your soft. You are flirty. So I had an extended crisis. New Twitter response to Let me get my phone, actually. Oh. Oh god. Okay. Let's see what responses the tweet has got. Power scaling tier list based on how comfortable they would be to sleep on. Ooh, that'd be good. That'd actually be a really good idea. Oh my god, 5 already. Oh right, because I told people to put their flags in. Got a lesbian and transgender. Excellent. Alright. So far, only 3 people have seen that. And it's S tier, me. Rachel would be a very comfortable pillow. Yeah, I want relaxing music tonight. Did the response not post? Oh, I'm sorry, Entity, I didn't see yours. I'd be a solid B tier. F tier, me. Axo is just a lot of sharp edges, I suppose. You would die. Just a bed of spikes. I gotta try to be a little quieter tonight. No? Oh. Then explain to me why you would not be nice to sleep on. Okay. While the music's still going, not just B tier, but B plus tier. Oh, okay. That's good. I won't exactly tell you would be safe. This once I started violently kicking my brother while sleeping. Maybe you were the sleep paralysis demon all along. Okay, so continuing the story, I was thinking these thoughts. I wanted to do something more original, something more cozy. Because otherwise, I'm just kind of, another screaming streamer, right? A streamer boy who, like, yells a lot and swears. I have no sharp edges. I'm a acidic slug creature. Oh, that's a whole nother level of discomfort then. If you're just a B, I'd be at the bottom of A. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Your head would melt? Some people would be into that. Alright, so, I was thinking those thoughts, and then I had an extended crisis. And the inside of my closet chat, that's right next to my desk, it's been very messy for a very long time. So while I was having that crisis, I decided I can think about this more and panic, or I can clean out the entirety of the closet. So I did that and I reorganized everything. Okay, looks like I stopped my reply. Looks like, from posting. I'm sorry. It should work eventually. Okay, so I cleaned out my closet, and because there's not a lot of room in my apartment or in my room for other stuff, one of the things, I have a very big closet. One of the things in my closet, in the storage space area, is a bookshelf that I have. I had a bookshelf, and it was a little busted, and not very organized, so while I was cleaning and organizing, I took the chance to fix it up a little bit and put all the books back where they should, and now it looks like a proper bookshelf, and that is what gave me the idea for this series of the Monsters Bookshelf. Because I was looking through the books there, and I saw, you know, a lot of nostalgic old books from my childhood, a wide variety, and I was thinking I wanted to read through some of them again, but I'm so busy with these sorts of things, and I thought to myself, well, just like how I share games with my community, I'd like to share some of these books with my community. So, the basic idea for the Monsters Bookshelf is that this is meant to be a relaxing sleep aid series of streams. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Wario Costume... Ultimate Wario Alternate Costume 6. You'll have to send me a picture of that. Yeah, that's the basic idea. It is meant to be a relaxing... Oh, you did? Okay. Sounds dope as fuck. Thank you. Like I said, things are not perfectly set up for this series tonight. On your post. Okay, let me take a look really quick. Let's take a look, let's take a look, let's take a look, let's take a look, let's take a look. Hey! Trans Wario, trans rights. Let's fucking go. Okay, like I said, things are not perfectly set up for this series right now, because this stream is the pilot. It is just meant to gauge interest in this idea. I feel like you could read chat only at the end of chapters or something. So yeah, while I'm reading, Rachel has guessed what the series itself will be. Every stream, I will pick a book from my bookshelf, and I will just spend, as long as we want, reading it to you. And the idea is that this will just be quiet, uninterrupted flow of reading to my voice, so that will help you maybe relax, have something in the background while you do something else, or because it's so late at night, that's intentional. This is meant to maybe something you can fall asleep to. Because a lot of times people put on streams to fall asleep to, so I figured a kind that would be intentionally for that, that might be a good idea. And I thought, would you ever post the VODs anywhere else like you? I always post my VODs to YouTube, so these would absolutely be on YouTube. So yeah, I hope Malice doesn't fall asleep themselves. Hopefully not. I'm interested because these are, like, books that I used to read, so I'm curious. Music made me think of this video. Let's take a look at this video. Hello? Happy Pride. Hi, Isaac. Happy Pride. We're trying out a new stream series. How do I... Just copy. Okay, and copy that. I think I'll use this stream while I play Pokemon Yellow. Excellent. Yeah, this is just meant to be something you can put on in the background. It's meant as a relaxing sort of stream, a comforting voice, help clear my mind, yeah. With just someone reading a book to you at night. And maybe that can help you sleep, help you relax. I will admit, when I thought of this, I realized I am taking a little bit of inspiration from Snapcube series, Midnight Snap. Only, instead of relaxing Let's Plays, this will just be me doing relaxing streams, reading a book to you. Let's check out this video. What have we been sent? I'll look at this later. Okay. Snapcube didn't invent reading. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that I'm taking a bit of inspiration from her Midnight Snap series, because this is meant to have the same sort of vibes and meant to, you know, be a relaxing sleep aid series. Feels more like a TikTok stream idea, to be honest. Not bad, though. The video is not relaxing. Okay, so we won't play it right now. I do need to post more videos to TikTok. As always, if the music volume needs adjusting or anything, please let me know. Night-night. Yay! I did it. It was me. Oh my god, Axo, you invented reading? I'm such a big fan. Can I have your autograph? But yeah, that's basically the premise. These are going to happen late at night, around times when people would go to sleep. Well, late at night for me. I can't account for every time zone. Have an evil stream. Thank you, Flirty. I will. Oh, I didn't invent writing yet. Okay, so we gotta get there at some point. Have you seen that people, specifically cartoon reviewers or whatever, are having second channels involving compilations that help you sleep? I could put this on a second channel, but like I said, I'm just gauging interests. I'm just seeing if this is something that people would be interested in, that they would want more of. So the reason I'm doing this, I'm gonna try to do this. If this does well, if the pilot does well, I'm going to try to do this every Sunday night. And I pick Sunday night specifically because, you know, most people work a 5-day week. Most of them have their weekends, and then Sunday night they gotta go to sleep early so they can get to work in the morning. So I'm hoping that at this time, this can help people who might have some issues with sleeping get to sleep this night so that they can wake up refreshed and early for needing to go to work early the next day. I'll see if my theory's correct, but that's just how I think about it. And, you know, this also has an added benefit to me, because as I'm trying to keep a quieter, deeper voice for these streams, it's also kind of a way of me to try to voice train myself. Because I have thought about training my voice, and I can't really stick with it. And I'm hoping that if I just spend a stream reading to you all, and try to keep a deeper, more soothing voice, that I can train myself to have that more often. So in this way, these streams will help us to benefit each other. Will that have problems sleeping? Holy shit, he's talking about me. I'm talking about famous PNG tuber urob10. Absolutely. But yeah, during the actual reading, I probably will only read chat at like the end of chapters and stuff. So you guys can talk amongst yourselves, but mostly I'm going to be focused on reading through a book, a different one each week. If it's a longer book, then we'll probably, you know, have it split over different streams. We'll have different chapters each time. We'll see how long we feel like going. But this is meant to go for a bit so that you can have adequate time to relax and hopefully fall asleep if that's what you want to do. But it's really up to you. It's just meant to be a nice, relaxing time, basically. So why don't we get started? There is actually one other part of this stream. Let's all gather our teas and chalky milk. Yes, I myself have water. Myself have water at the ready in a thermos because when I read for a while, I remember I used to read out loud to my stuffed animals as a kid, so I really enjoy doing this. So it's drink water. Thank you. Thank you for the redeem. I will drink it. All right. Now, aside from me just reading to you, I had one more. I have Powerade. That's fine. I had one more idea for these streams, chat. I had one more idea for the presentation of these streams that would make it more immersive to you. But I'm going to show you what that is, and I'm going to show you why that's a bad idea and why it will not work out. This is pretty good considering I have trouble sleeping without a sound source. I used to sleep with the TV on as a kid, and I currently sleep through VODs and stuff, so this should be perfect for me. I'm glad. Yeah, I know a lot of people, myself included, sleep to videos and stuff, and a lot of people have said my voice is kind of soothing, so this is, you know, simultaneously voice training for me and helping you guys relax. At least I hope that's the case. Like I said, we're gonna see how this pilot episode does. And like I said, I will show you what I was gonna do to make the streams a bit more immersive and why, and you'll quickly see why that won't work. Hi! Hand cam! Look, it's my little setup here. Unfortunately, my webcam is shit, apparently. Yeah, I don't have black nail polish on, so I thought to not break immersion too much, I'd have my shitty Hot Topic gloves on. Holy shit, I love that setup. Thank you, yeah, my setup's super cute. I got like this, David got me this off my throne, this keyboard, and I have this, from Game Beluga Design. I wish they would sponsor me, to be honest. Think cartoons where you see a character's hands and they're realistic. Yeah, this is kind of a cartoon situation. So the idea was that I'd have the book open and I'd just be reading it to you and you could see me flip through the pages and things. But, the camera is apparently does jack shit in regards to quality. You know, you could make an argument for that. You could say, oh, this looks like a dream. It's, you know, it's so fuzzy it kind of looks like a dream. But the idea was that you would also be able to see the words on the page. So it's not gonna really work out that way because it's such garbage quality. So at some point I might get a new webcam, but in terms of things that I want to buy, it's pretty low on the list of priorities. We are just gonna have this just so I can show you the book. But then we're gonna switch to the other screen and I'm just gonna read the book without the webcam. I mean, if you were trying to sleep, would it matter? That's true. You wouldn't necessarily be looking at the screen. Oh, pardon me. Jesus. I gotta try not to burp so much. This looks a little bit better without my mic. A little bit of a better setup without my mic in the way. But you do need to hear me. Since part of my voice is part of the package with these streams. Alright, there's nothing really left for us to do. There's nothing really left for us to do, but it's hard to also angle the camera correctly. It's kind of just hanging off of my desk lamp. Works pretty fine, though. Alright, so I'm just gonna open my bookshelf that's to the left over here. And we're gonna pick out a book. We're gonna pick out our book for tonight. Let me show you. I want to be very careful not to do my face reveal. Drink water? Hi, Ray. Welcome on in. Welcome to the Pilot of the Monsters bookshelf. I'm going to be reading a book to you so you guys can relax and fall asleep. Does that sound nice? And if people like this... Hi, Abs. Hi. It's so good to see you. How you been? Let me see if I can show you my bookshelf without accidentally doxing myself. Oh, fuck. The wire. I'm good. I'm glad. Oh, fuck. The bloom is a nightmare. Oh, this camera is garbage. This is my little bookshelf right here. I cleaned it out all by myself. And we got a lot of books here. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thank you. Yeah. My little bookshelf there. And, we're gonna pick out a book really quick. Yeah, Pinkle. Oh, fuck. Ugh, put this back up here. The VTuber life. Oh, Jesus. No, don't look at me. Oh. The VTuber life is having a lot of wires going everywhere. Oh, put this back. Put this back. Ugh. There we go. Oh, I can fix it on that axis. That's cool. Ugh, sorry. This is not relaxing. Are you listening to Thousand Year Door? This is just a general playlist of relaxing Nintendo music because it's not going to get my fucking stream muted. I had an interview earlier. I really hope I get the job. The lady seemed nice too. I really hope you get the job, Isaac. I'm considering if I'm going to get a job. I really have to see how much work my morning class is first and foremost. So I'll need to see. And I have a bunch of ideas for other stuff with my streams. So, you know, I'll have to see what I can do. I'll have to see have to see how my Skeb commissions do, because once I'm done with my queue, I'm going to open up my Skeb commissions. This is a relaxing, more relaxing form of commissions. A little way to get some more money, because God, do I need money. I was about to warn you that your phone reflection— Oh, Jesus Christ, no! Oh, God. Almost showed my face. I forgot my iPhone is shiny as hell. Almost showed my face. You don't want to see my face right now, because I have my bangs out of the way, so you can see the full garbage. I'll have to watch the VOD, and I'll have to see if I need to face reveal. Ray, you've already seen my face once. You are not seeing it again. It was showing something that was flashing, so I don't know how close. I'm gonna have to— thank you for telling me. I'm gonna have to rewatch the VOD. I have. And we don't talk about that. You are sworn to secrecy. Leave me be. So yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the VOD and I'm gonna see if I have to cut that out. I'm going to get a job regardless of my workload because we live in capitalist hellscape. Education can be privatized. Like Sisyphus, I am bound. That's true. Yeah, of course I understand the need for privacy. Hi everyone, JK. Here's the thing. If I reveal my face to you guys, I want it to be on my terms and I want to look my best. I do not look my best right now. IRL at least. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm very privileged that I can afford to, like, not have a job right now. Because I have enough in savings and I still live with my mother, but it's absolutely valid. Yeah. I've interacted with one friend I haven't talked to so far. I also made a first move for my close one. Usually she meshes me first. Alright, that's good, Isaac. That's good. I'm proud of you. As someone who has been on the receiving end of someone, also my mom, don't worry. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the case where it's like, you know, I'm very privileged at this point, but it's just because I'm working more towards my degree. So once I get my degree, I'm gonna get a nice, better job. Imagine having family savings. Can't relate. I had an internship, that paid me, so I have a bit of money saved up from that. I do need to make money, though, so I'm gonna see how long my new ideas take to make, and I'm gonna see how much my summer class, how much of a toll that takes on me, and then I'm gonna see if I have enough left in me to get a part-time job this summer. So we'll have to see. Now, I've wasted enough of your time already. Let's pick out our book. I had an idea for the first one we're gonna get. I have to lean over here really quick, so I'll be right back. Oh. God. Hang on. Ooh. I'm looking for something very small. Take a look. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Okay, I remember. This is the one that I wanted to. Alright. Here's the book we're gonna, I think this is a good one to start with. I don't know if any of you grew up with the Magic Treehouse series. You can't really see it. Hang on. This is the second. Oh god, I'm covering my tracking. I'm so sorry. Like I said, a few things tonight are gonna be a bit scuff. I'm familiar with it. This is about two children set in our world who go on magical adventures, powered by from Arthurian legends, I believe with Merlin, characters like Merlin and such, and they have their titular magic treehouse that they use to go on adventures in different stories and books. And this is the second one ever, so I thought this would be a good short story to start out with, and I think we can get through all of this in one night. So, yeah. I remember these very fondly. I remember reading these in, grade school. So I think this will be a good one to start with. The camera is pretty useless. You can't see anything, really. You can't read jack shit. Oh, pardon me. I miss reading those. Well, we're gonna read one tonight. I'm gonna read one to you, and we can just sort of relax. Oh, pardon me. As we read Magic Treehouse, book number 2, The Night at Dawn, by Mary Pope Osborne. Okay, so we're gonna turn off the hand cam, and we're just going to go over to the other screen. POV, illiteracy. POV, you need glasses. And I'll probably, you know, as I said earlier, I probably will let you guys just talk amongst yourselves or just relax. And if we get to an end of a chapter, people have written anything, I'll read it then. Yeah, we're just gonna read this. POV. Book. POV. You need glasses that aren't cheap and don't have glare. Okay. So we're just gonna turn off the camera for now. I'm just gonna read this book to you guys for a while, alright? That's basically the premise of the series. We'll look at different stuff that's in my bookshelf, in the Monsters bookshelf, hence the title of the series, and then I'll read books to you to help you relax, help you sleep, whichever you please. Okay, turn that off. Let's go over to the other screen. What if you just read a thesaurus? I probably have a thesaurus in there somewhere. Literally just reacting to words. That would be pretty cool. I have like an old animal book in there that's probably very outdated, but I remember very fondly, so we might read that one these days. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see where this series takes us. We'll have to see if this is something people want more of, but that's the point of this stream. I'm gonna do something really quick, actually. I'm gonna turn on lighting. I'm gonna turn on set lighting for my model. Display lighting. All right, there we go. Oh, Jesus. It's a little too dark, isn't it? Oh, an almanac? A bestiary, perchance? A bit of a bestiary. Hang on, we are going to... My teeth glow. We're gonna make this a little brighter. Brightness, brightness, brightness. There we go. A nice 30. A nice 30 should be good. Read a guidebook. We'll save that. So this book PNG is all I have. If I ever get the time to make a new model, I'll probably add a book toggle if this series becomes successful, but we'll have to see. Also, the Donkey Kong Country water theme. Like I said, this is just a general mix of Nintendo music that is relaxing, or at least meant to be relaxing, so that I don't get my stream muted while I read to you. I don't like, this one's making me a little uneasy. Let's skip. All right. Read the entirety of Homestuck in a single stream. /J. Thank you for /J. That would be anything but relaxing. All right. Is the volume good? Can you hear my voice? Can y'all hear my voice over the music? Please let me know if anything needs to be adjusted at any point. Now, without further ado, let's see. Hear your voice? Sounds good? Okay. Without further ado, let's read through Magic Treehouse: The Night at Dawn, the second book ever. I should have started with the first one, but I don't know if I have that. Abs indeed have a voice. Yay! I do. Alright, time for the actual content. It's been almost an hour, and we've only now just getting to the premise of the series. Chapter 1. The Dark Woods. Jack couldn't sleep. He put his glasses on. He looked at the clock. 5:30. Too early to get up. Yesterday, so many strange things had happened. Now he was trying to figure them out. He turned on the light. He picked up his notebook. He looked at the list he'd made before going to bed. Found treehouse in woods. Found lots of books in it. Pointed to pterodon picture in book. Made a wish. Went to time of dinosaurs. Pointed to a picture of Frog Creek woods. Made a wish. Came home to Frog Creek. Jack pushed his glasses into place. Who was going to believe any of this? Not his mom, or his dad, or his third-grade teacher, Miss Watkins. Only his 7-year-old sister, Annie. She'd gone with him to the time of dinosaurs. Can't you sleep? It was Annie, standing in his doorway. Nope, said Jack. Me neither, said Annie. What are you doing? She walked over to Jack and looked at his notebook. She read the list. Aren't you going to write about the gold medal? She asked. You mean the gold medallion, said Jack. He picked up his pencil and wrote, Found this in dinosaur time. Aren't you going to put the letter M on the medal? Said Annie. Medallion, said Jack, not medal. He added an M. Aren't you going to write about the magic person? Said Annie. We don't know for sure if there is a magic person, said Jack. Well, someone built the treehouse in the woods. Someone put the books in it. Someone lost a gold medal in dinosaur time. Medallion, said Jack for the third time. And I'm just writing the facts. The stuff we know for sure. Let's go back to the treehouse right now, said Annie, and find out if the magic person is a fact. Are you nuts? Said Jack. The sun's not even up yet. Come on, said Annie. Maybe we can catch them sleeping. I don't think we should, said Jack. He was worried. What if the magic person was mean? What if he or she didn't want kids to know about the treehouse? Well, I'm going, said Annie. Jack looked out his window at the dark gray sky. It was almost dawn. He sighed. Okay, let's get dressed. I'll meet you at the back door. Be quiet. Yay, whispered Annie. She tiptoed away as quietly as a mouse. Jack put on jeans, a warm sweatshirt, and sneakers. He tossed his notebook and pencil in his backpack. He crept downstairs. Annie was waiting by the back door. She shined a flashlight in Jack's face. Ta-da! A magic wand, she said. Shh, don't wake up Mom or Dad, whispered Jack. Turn that flashlight off. We don't want anyone to see us. Annie nodded and turned it off. Then she clipped it onto her belt. They slipped out the door into the cool early morning air. Crickets were chirping. The dog next door barked. Quiet, Henry, whispered Annie. Henry stopped barking. Animals always seemed to do what Annie said. Let's run, said Jack. They dashed across the dark, wet lawn, didn't stop until they reached the woods. We need the flashlight now, said Jack. Annie took it off her belt and switched it on. Step by step, she and Jack walked beneath the trees. Jack held his breath. The dark woods were scary. Gotcha, said Annie, shining the flashlight in Jack's face. Jack jumped back, then he frowned. Cut it out, he said. I scared you, said Annie. Jack glared at her. Stop pretending, he whispered. This is serious. Okay, okay. Annie shined her flashlight over the tops of the trees. Now what are you doing, said Jack. Looking for the treehouse. The light stopped moving. There it was. The mysterious treehouse, at the top of the tallest tree in the woods. Annie shined her light at the treehouse, then down the tall ladder, all the way to the ground. I'm going up, she said. She gripped the flashlight and began to climb. Wait, Jack yelled. God, what if someone was in the treehouse? Annie, come back! But she was gone. The light disappeared. Jack was alone in the dark. Chapter 2. Leaving Again. No one's here, Annie shouted down. Jack thought about going home. Then he thought about all the books in the treehouse. He started up the ladder. When he was nearly to the treehouse, he saw light in the distant sky. Dawn was starting to break. He crawled through a hole in the floor and took off his backpack. It was dark inside the treehouse. Annie was shining her flashlight on the books scattered about. They're still here, she said. She stopped the light on a dinosaur book. It was the book that had taken them to the time of dinosaurs. Remember the Tyrannosaurus? Asked Annie. Jack shuddered. Of course he remembered. How could anyone forget seeing a real live Tyrannosaurus Rex? The light fell on a book about Pennsylvania. A red silk bookmark stuck out of it. Remember the picture of Frog Creek? Said Annie. Of course, said Jack. That was the picture that had brought them home. There's my favorite, said Annie. The light was shining on a book about knights and castles. There was a blue leather bookmark in it. Annie turned to the page with the bookmark. There was a picture of a knight on a black horse. He was riding towards a castle. Annie, close that book, said Jack. I know what you're thinking. Annie pointed at the knight. Don't, Annie. We wish we could see this guy for real, Annie said. No, we don't, shouted Jack. They heard a strange sound. You think these kids will be traumatized by the horrors of war? Oh, there is plenty to traumatize them, don't you worry. I remember many of these books. It sounded like a horse neighing. They both went to the window. Annie shined the flashlight down on the ground. Oh no, whispered Jack. A knight, said Annie. A knight in shining armor, riding a black horse through the Frog Creek woods. Then the wind began to moan. The leaves began to tremble. It was happening again. We're leaving, cried Annie. Get down. The wind moaned louder, the leaves shook harder, and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes. He shivered. The air was damp and cool. The sound of a horse's whinny came again from below. I think we're here, whispered Annie. She was still holding the castle book. Jack peeked out the window. A huge castle loomed out of the fog. He looked around. The treehouse was in a different oak tree. And down below, the knight on the black horse was riding by. We can't stay here, said Jack. We have to go home and make a plan first. Oh, my kitty cat has decided to join us, Chat. It's okay, Mitzi. I'm just reading a book. He opened it to the page with the red silk bookmark. He pointed to the photograph of Frog Creek woods. I wish... No, said Annie. She yanked the book away from him. Let's stay. I want to visit the castle. You're nuts. We have to examine the situation, said Jack, from home. Let's examine it from here, said Annie. Come on. He held out his hand. Give it. Annie gave Jack the book. Okay. Here comes my cat, chat. She's gonna walk in front of my tracking. You go home. I'm staying, she said. She clipped the flashlight to her belt. She's rubbing on the book, chat. Oh, get off my keyboard, you little monster. Alright, you want to sit right there? You want to sit right there, Missy? Go ahead. Just petting my little kitty cat, chat. You can sit right there, ma'am. That's it. Good girl. Good girl. Wait, said Jack. I'm going to take a peek. A tiny peek, she said, as she scooted down the ladder. Jack groaned. Okay, she had won. He couldn't leave without her. Besides, he sort of wanted to take a peek himself. He dropped the castle book into his pack. He stepped onto the ladder and headed down into the cool, misty air. My cat is rubbing her little itty-bitty face all over the book, chat. Chapter 3. Across the bridge. Annie was under the tree, looking across the foggy ground. The knight's riding towards that bridge, I think, said Annie. The bridge goes to the castle. Wait, I'll look it up, said Jack. Give me a flashlight. He took the flashlight from her and pulled the castle book out of his pack. He opened it to the page with the leather bookmark. He read the words under the picture of the knight. This is a knight arriving for a castle feast. Knights wore armor when they traveled long and dangerous distances. The armor was very heavy. A helmet alone could weigh up to 40 pounds. Wow, Jack had weighed 40 pounds when he was 5 years old, so it'd be like riding a horse with a 5-year-old on your head. Jack pulled out his notebook. He wanted to take notes as he'd done on their dinosaur trip. He wrote, heavy head. What else? He turned the pages of the castle book. He found a picture that showed the whole castle and the buildings around it. The knight's crossing the bridge, said Annie. He's going through the gate. He's gone. Jack studied the bridge in the picture. He read, a drawbridge crossed the moat. The moat was filled with water to help protect the castle from enemies. Some people believe crocodiles were kept in the moat. Jack wrote in his notebook, crocodiles? In moat? Look, said Annie, peering over the mist. A windmill, right over there. Yeah, there's a windmill in here too, said Jack, pointing at the picture. Look at the real one, Jack, said Annie, not the one in the book. A piercing shriek split the air. Yikes, said Annie. It sounded like it came from that little house over there. She pointed through the fog. There's a little house here, said Jack, studying the picture. He turned the page and read, the hawk house was in the inner ward of the castle. Hawks were trained to hunt other birds and small animals. Jack wrote in his notebook, hawks in hawk house. We must be in the inner ward, said Jack. Listen, Anne, whispered Annie. You hear that? Drums! Horns! They're coming from the castle. Let's go see. Wait, said Jack. He turned more pages of the book. Just a moment, let me get some more music up. Just a little bit more music. Okay. I want to see what's really going on, Jack. Not what's in the book, said Annie. But look at this, said Jack. He pointed to a picture of a big party. Men were standing by the door, playing drums and horns. He read, fanfares were played to announce different dishes in a feast. Feasts were held in the Great Hall. You can look at the book. I'm going to the real feast, said Annie. Wait, said Jack, studying the picture. It showed boys his age carrying trays of food. Whole pigs, pies, peacocks with all their feathers. Peacocks? Jack wrote, they eat peacocks? He held up the book to show Annie. Look, I think they eat... Where was she? Gone. Again. Jack looked through the fog. He heard the real drums and the real horns. He saw the real hawk house, the real windmill, the real moat. He saw Annie dashing across the real drawbridge, and she vanished through the gate leading to the castle. Chapter 4. Into the castle. I'm going to kill her, muttered Jack. He threw his stuff into his pack and moved towards the drawbridge. He hoped no one would see him. It was getting darker. It must be night. When he got to the bridge, he started across. The wooden planks creaked under his feet. He peered over the edge of the bridge. Were there any crocodiles in the moat? He couldn't tell. Halt, someone shouted. A guard on top of the castle wall was looking down. Jack dashed across the bridge. He ran through the castle gate and into the courtyard. From inside the castle came the sounds of music, shouting, and laughter. Jack hurried to a dark corner and crouched down. He shivered as he looked around for Annie. Torches lit the high wall around the courtyard. The courtyard was nearly empty. 2 boys led horses that clopped over the gray cobblestones. Nay! Jack turned. It was the knight's black horse. He peered into the darkness. There was Annie. She was hiding behind a well in the center of the courtyard. She waved at him. My cat is walking across my keyboard again. She's a little bastard. Jack waved back. He waited until the boys and the horses disappeared inside the stable. Then he dashed to the well. I'm going to find the music, whispered Annie. Are you coming? Okay, Jack said with a sigh. They tiptoed together across the cobblestones. Then they slipped into the entrance of the castle. Noise and music came from a bright room in front of them. They stood on one side of the doorway and peeked in. A feast in the great hall, whispered Jack. He held his breath as he stared in awe. A giant fireplace blazed at one end of the noisy room. Antlers and rugs hung on the stone walls. Flowers covered the floor. Boys in short dresses carried huge trays of food. Dogs were fighting over bones under the tables. People in bright clothes and funny hats strolled among the crowd. Some played funny-shaped guitars. Some tossed balls in the air. Some balanced swords on their hands. Men and women dressed in capes and furs sat at a long, crowded wooden tables. I wonder which one is the knight, said Jack. I don't know, whispered Annie. But they're eating with their fingers. Suddenly someone shouted behind them. Jack whirled around. A man carrying a tray of pies was standing a few feet away. Who art thou? He asked angrily. Jack, squeaked Jack. Annie, squeaked Annie. Then they ran as fast as they could down a dimly lit hallway. Chapter 5. Trapped. Come on, cried Annie. Jack raced behind her. Were they being followed? Here, quick! Annie dashed towards a door off the hallway. She pushed the door open. The 2 of them stumbled into a dark, cold room. The door creaked shut behind them. Give me the flashlight, said Annie. Jack handed it to her and she switched it on. Yikes! A row of knights right in front of them! Annie flicked off the light. Silence. They aren't moving, Jack whispered. Annie turned the light back on. They're just suits, Jack said. Without heads, said Annie. Let me have the flashlight a second, said Jack, so I can look in the book. Annie handed him the flashlight. He pulled out the castle book. He flipped through the pages until he found what he was looking for. Jack put the book away. It's called the Armory, he said. It's where armor and weapons are stored. He shined the flashlight around the room. Oh man, whispered Jack. The light fell on shiny breastplates, leg plates, arm plates. On shelves filled with helmets and weapons. On shields, spears, swords, crossbows, clubs, battle axes. There was a noise in the hall. Voices! Let's hide, said Annie. Wait, said Jack. I've got to check on something first. Hurry, said Annie. It'll just take a second, said Jack. Hold this. He handed Annie the flashlight. He tried to lift a helmet from the shelf. It was too heavy. He bent over and dragged the helmet over his head. The visor slammed shut. Oh, forget it. It was worse than having a 5-year-old on a head. More like having a 10-year-old on your head. Not only could Jack not lift his head, he couldn't see anything either. Jack! Annie's voice sounded far away. The voices are getting closer. Turn off the flashlight, Jack's voice echoed inside the metal chamber. He struggled to get the helmet off. Suddenly, he lost his balance and went crashing into the other pieces of armor. The metal plates and weapons clattered on the floor. Jack lay on the floor in the dark. He tried to get up, but his head was too heavy. He heard deep voices. Someone grabbed him by the arm. The next thing he knew, his helmet was yanked off. He was staring into the blazing light of a fiery torch. Yeah, biblically accurate helmet. Absolutely right. Squinty. Who's Squinty? Skip a page. Chapter 6. Ta-da! In the torchlight, Jack saw 3 huge men standing over him. One with very squinty eyes held the torch. One with a very red face held Jack. And one with a very long mustache held onto Annie. Annie was kicking and yelling. Stop, said the one with a very long mustache. Who art thou? Said the one with a very red face. Spies? Foreigners? Egyptians? Romans? Persians? Said the squinty-eyed one. No, you dummies, said Annie. Oh, brother, Jack muttered. Arrest them, said Redface. The dungeon, said Squinty Eyes. The guards marched Jack and Annie out of the armory. Jack looked back frantically. Where was his backpack? Go, said a guard, giving him a push. Jack went. Down they marched, down the long, dark hallway. Squinty, Annie, Mustache, Jack, and Red. Down a narrow, winding staircase. Jack heard Annie shouting at the guards. Dummies! Meanies! We didn't do anything! The guards laughed. They didn't take her seriously at all. The bottom of the stairs was a big iron door with a bar across it. Squinty pushed the bar off the door. Then he shoved at the door. It creaked open. Jack and Annie were pushed into a cold, clammy room. The fiery torch lit the dungeon. There were chains hanging from the filthy walls. Water dripped from the ceiling, making puddles on the stone floor. It was the creepiest place Jack had ever seen. We'll keep them here until the feast is done, then turn them over to the Duke, said Squinty. He knows how to take care of thieves. There will be a hanging tomorrow, said Mustache. If the rats don't get them first, said Red. They all laughed. Jack saw that. Annie had his backpack. She was quietly unzipping it. Come on, let's chain the two of them, said Squinty. The guards started towards them. Annie whipped out her flashlight out of the pack. Ta-da! She yelled. The guards froze. They stared at the shiny flashlight in her hand. Annie switched the light on. The guards gasped in fear. They jumped back against the wall. Squinty dropped the torch. It fell into a dirty puddle on the floor, sputtered, and went out. My magic wand, said Annie, waving the flashlight. Get down, or I'll wipe you out. Jack's mouth dropped open. Annie fiercely pointed her light at one, then the other. Each howled and covered his face. Down, all of you! Get down, shouted Annie. One by one, the guards lay down on the wet floor. Jack couldn't believe it. Come on, Annie said to him. Let's go. Jack looked at the open doorway. He looked at the guards quaking on the ground. Hurry, said Annie. In one quick leap, Jack followed her out of the terrible dungeon. Yeah, Annie's the goat. Bravest little girl in the world. Chapter 7. A Secret Passage. Annie and Jack raced back up the winding stairs and down the long hallway. They hadn't gone far when they heard shouting behind them. Dogs barked in the distance. They're coming, Annie cried. I'm here, said Jack. He shoved open a door off the hallway and pulled Annie into a dark room. Jack pushed the door shut. Then Annie shined her flashlight around the room. There were rows of sacks and wooden barrels. I better look in the book, said Jack. Give it to me. Annie gave him the flashlight and his backpack. He pulled out the book and started tearing through it. Shh, said Annie. Someone's coming. Jack and Annie jumped behind the door as it creaked open. Jack held his breath. A light from a torch danced wildly over the sacks and barrels. The light disappeared, and the door slammed shut. Oh man, whispered Jack. We have to hurry. They might come back. His hands were trembling as he flipped through the pages of the castle book. Here's a map of the castle, he said. Look, this must be the room we're in. It's a storeroom. Jack studied the room in the book. These are sacks of flour and barrels of wine. Who cares? We have to go, said Annie, before they come back. No, look, said Jack. He pointed at the map. Here's a trapdoor. He read aloud. This door leads from the storeroom through a secret passage to a precipice over the moat. What's a precipice? Said Annie. I don't know. We'll find out, said Jack. But first we have to find the door. Jack looked at the pictures carefully. Then he shined the flashlight around the room. The stone floor of the room was made up of stones. Of course. The trap door in the picture was 5 stones away from the door to the hall. Jack shined the light on the floor and counted the stones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He stamped on the 5th stone. It was loose. Put the flashlight on the floor. He worked his fingers under the thin sheet of stone and tried to lift it. Help, said Jack. Annie came over and helped him lift the stone square out of its place. Underneath was a small wooden door. Jack and Annie tugged on the rope handle of the door. The door fell open with a thunk. Jack picked up the flashlight and shined it in the hole. There's a little ladder, he said. Let's go. He clipped on the flashlight and felt his way down the small ladder. Annie followed. When they both reached the bottom of the ladder, Jack shined the light around them. There was a tunnel. He crouched down and began moving through the damp, creepy tunnel. The light barely lit the stone walls. He shook the light. Were the batteries running down? I think our light's dying, he said to Annie. Hurry, she called from behind. Jack went faster. His back hurt from crouching. The light got dimmer and dimmer. He was desperate to get out of the castle before the batteries died completely. Soon he reached another small wooden door. the door at the end of the tunnel. Jack unlatched the door and pushed it open. He poked his head outside. He couldn't see anything in the misty darkness. The air felt good, cool and fresh. He took a deep breath. "Where are we?" whispered Annie behind him. "What do you see?" "Nothing. But I think we've come to the outside of the castle," said Jack. "I'll find out." Jack put the flashlight in his pack. He put the pack on his back. He stuck his hand out of the door. He couldn't feel the ground, just air. "I'm going to have to go feet first," he said. Jack turned around in the small tunnel. He lay down in his stomach. He stuck one leg out the door, then the other. Jack inched down bit by bit, until he was hanging out of the door, clinging to the ledge. "This must be the precipice," he called to Annie. "Pull me up." Annie reached for Jack's hands. "I can't hold you," she said. Jack felt his fingers slipping. Then down he fell, down through the darkness. Splash. Chapter 8. The Night. Water filled Jack's nose and covered his head. His glasses fell off. He grabbed them just in time. He coughed and flailed his arms. "Jack," Annie was calling from above. "I'm in the moat," said Jack, gasping for air. He tried to tread water and put his glasses back on. With his backpack, his shoes, and his heavy clothes, he could hardly stay afloat. Splash. "Hi, I'm here," Annie sputtered. Jack could hear her nearby, but he couldn't see her. "Which way is land?" Annie asked. "I don't know. Just swim." Jack dog paddled through the cold, black water. He heard Annie swimming too. At first it seemed as if she was swimming in front of him, but then he heard a splash behind him. "Annie?" he called. "What?" Her voice came from the front. Not behind. Another splash. Behind. Jack's heart almost stopped. Crocodiles? He couldn't see anything through his water-streaked glasses. "Annie," he whispered. "What? Swim faster!" "But I'm here! I'm over here, near the edge," she whispered. Jack swam through the dark toward her voice. He imagined a crocodile slithering after him. Another splash, not far away. Jack's hand touched a wet, live thing. "Ah!" he cried. "It's me! Take my hand!" said Annie. Jack grabbed her hand. She pulled him to the edge of the moat. They crawled over an embankment onto the wet grass. Safe. Another splash came from the moat waters. "Oh man," Jack said. He was shivering all over. His teeth were chattering. He took off the water off his glasses and put them back on. It was so misty he couldn't see the castle. He couldn't even see the moat, much less a crocodile. We made it," said Annie. Her teeth were chattering too. "I know," said Jack. "But where are we?" He peeked at the foggy darkness. Where was the drawbridge? The windmill? The hawk house? The grove of trees? The tree house? Everything had been swallowed up by the thick, soupy darkness. Jack reached into his wet backpack and pulled out the flashlight. He pushed the switch. No more light. They were trapped, not in a dungeon, but in the still, cold darkness. "Nay!" A horse's whinny. Just then the clouds parted. A full moon was shining in the sky. A pool of light spread through the mist. Then Jack and Annie saw him just a few feet away. The knight. He sat on the black horse. His armor shone in the moonlight. A visor hid his face. But he seemed to be staring straight at Jack and Annie. Yeah, it's not good at all. Most medieval sewage systems drain out into the moat, to my knowledge. Oh, much worse. Much worse for our brave heroes, then. Ew. Chapter 9. Under the Moon. Jack froze. "It's him," Annie whispered. The knight held out his gloved hand. "Come on, Jack," Annie said. "Where are you going?" said Jack. "He wants to help us," said Annie. "How do you know?" "I can just tell," said Annie. Annie stepped toward the horse. The knight dismounted. The knight picked Annie up and put her on the back of his horse. "Come on, Jack," she called. Jack moved slowly toward the knight. It was like a dream. The knight picked him up too. He placed Jack on the horse behind Annie. The knight got on behind them. He slapped the reins. The black horse cantered beside the moonlit water of the moat. Jack rocked back and forth in the saddle. The wind blew in his hair. He felt very brave and very powerful. He felt as if he could ride forever on this horse, with this mysterious night, over the ocean, over the world, over the moon. A hawk shrieked in the darkness. "There's the treehouse," said Annie. She sprinted towards a grove of trees. No, she pointed. This is why it's important to drink water while you're reading, chat. The knight steered the horse toward the trees. "See, there it is," said Annie, pointing to the ladder. The knight brought his horse to a stop. He dismounted and helped Annie down. "Thank you, sir," she said, and she bowed. Then Jack. "Thank you," he said, and he bowed also. The knight got back on his horse. He raised his gloved hand, and he slapped the reins and rode off through the mist. Annie started up the tall ladder, and Jack followed. They climbed into the dark treehouse and looked out the window. The knight was riding toward the outer wall. They saw him go through the outer great gate. Clouds started to cover the moon again. Let's see. For a brief moment, Jack thought he saw the knight's armor gleaming on top of a hill beyond the castle. The clouds covered the moon completely, and a black mist swallowed the land. "He's gone," whispered Annie. Jack shivered in his wet clothes as he kept staring at the blackness. "I'm cold," said Annie. "Where's the Pennsylvania book?" Jack heard Annie fumble in the darkness. He kept looking out the window. "I think this is it," said Annie. "I feel a silly bookmark." Jack was only half listening. He was hoping to see the knight's armor gleam again in the distance. "Okay, I'm going to use this," said Annie, "because I think it's the right one." "Here goes. Okay, I'm pointing. I'm going to wish. I wish we could go to Frog Creek." Jack heard the wind begin to blow, softly at first. "I hope I pointed to the right picture in the right book," said Annie. "What?" Jack looked back at her. "Right picture? Right book?" The treehouse began to rock. The wind got louder and louder. "I hope it wasn't the dinosaur book," said Annie. "Stop!" Jack shouted at the treehouse. Too late. The treehouse started to spin. It was spinning and spinning. The wind was screaming. Then suddenly there was silence. Absolute silence. Chapter 10. One Mystery Solved. The air was warm. It was dawn. Far away, a dog barked. "I think that's Henry barking," Annie said. "We did come home." They both looked out the treehouse window. "That was close," said Jack. In the distance, streetlights lit their street. There was a light on in their upstairs window. "Uh-oh," said Annie. "I think Mom and Dad are up. Hurry!" "Wait!" In a daze, Jack unzipped his backpack. He pulled out the castle book. It was quite wet, but Jack placed it back with all the other books. "Come on, hurry!" said Annie, scooting out of the treehouse. Jack followed her down the ladder. They reached the ground and took off between the gray-black trees. They left the woods and ran down their deserted street. They got to their yard and crept across the lawn, right up to the back door. Jack and Annie slipped inside the house. "They're not downstairs yet," whispered Annie. "Shh," said Jack. He led the way up the stairs and down the hall. No sign of his mom or dad. But he could hear water running in the bathroom. Their house was so different from the dark, cold castle, so safe and cozy and friendly. Annie stopped at her bedroom door. She gave Jack a smile, then disappeared inside her room. Jack hurried into his room. He took off his damp clothes and pulled out his dry, soft pajamas. He sat down in his bed and unzipped his backpack. He took out his wet notebook. He felt around for the pencil, but his hand touched something else. Jack pulled the blue leather bookmark out of his pack. It must have fallen out of the castle book. Jack held the bookmarks close to his lamp and studied it. The leather was smooth and worn. It seemed ancient. For the first time, Jack noticed a letter on the bookmark. A fancy M. Jack opened the drawer next to his bed. He took out the gold medallion. He looked at the letter on it. It was the same M. Now this was an amazing new fact. Jack took a deep breath. One mystery solved. The person who had dropped the gold medallion in the time of dinosaurs was the same person who owned all the books in the treehouse. Who was this person? Jack placed the bookmark next to the medallion, closed the drawer. He picked up his pencil, and he turned to the least wet page in his notebook, and he started to write down this new fact. The same... But before he could draw the M, his eyes closed. He dreamed they were there with the knight again, all three of them riding the black horse through the cool, dark night, beyond the outer wall of the castle, and up over a moonlit hill, into the mist. The end. Alright. Magic Treehouse books are not... They are not that long. So that's why I wanted to start with this one, because it was feasible enough that I could get through it in one stream without tiring myself out too much. I think For a pilot, this was fairly successful. Now, if you guys want, I can pick out another book, and we can read one more. Because I could keep going. I think it might... Let me just check. Huh, I remember books like that being long. I think it's a lot longer when you're a child, and you know, you're still working your way up to it. Sorry. Who's he? Yeah, sure. Okay. By the way, once this stream ends, we are not going to raid someone because this is meant to be a sleep aid series, and all of a sudden being blasted with someone else's loud stream probably wouldn't be the best. So for these streams, when the stream ends, we are just going to end. I might just stop here for tonight, if I'm being honest, because I think this was a good way for me to ease myself into this topic, into this idea. I think this was a fairly successful pilot. Ooh, and now I know that next time we do this, I need to pick out a book that's a bit longer than the Magic Treehouse books. I'm hoping that these might be able to be going for a few hours if I have the stamina, which I could probably build up. Well, thank you all for coming to the pilot episode of The Monsters Bookshelf. I hope that my voice was able to bring you at least a little relaxation, and I need to make the chat in this scene a bit bigger. Well, good night. Hopefully you get what you done stuff. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. I hope I was able to help you all a little bit. If the reception to this is good, then I will be doing this every Sunday night. And we'll pick a new book to read, or if we pick a long book, we will keep that going through multiple sessions. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I think this was a lot of fun. I think this is a good thing to do on Sunday nights. Now, I won't chill too much because, you know, this is meant to be sleep aid, so hopefully by this point people wouldn't be awake anyways. Always, you can see my, you can join my Discord or my Twitter, and then you can see my schedule for the week there. Whoa. Oh, hi, Axo. We're ending a bit early. The book ended much sooner than we thought, so we're gonna pick a longer one next Sunday. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you so much. I was a little bit nervous about tonight, but I think this idea might have a little potential. So we'll just see where it goes. That's what he said. Hey. Alright. And as I said, this was a little bit of a slapdash put together. I'm hoping that next time we do this, I will have more stuff prepared. That was fun. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think just reading books to you guys will be very relaxing for both of us. I'm gonna see if I can find a better web, because some of these books have illustrations in them that I would really love to show you. That's not really possible with this webcam, so I might put a better webcam on my throne and then see if we can get any funding for that. Like I said, it's a lower list of priority purchases, so until we get a better webcam, I believe we will mostly read text-based books without many illustrations or fun pictures. Get scans of the book online as a PDF. I could do that. I like the feeling of just flipping through a book, though. I think it adds to the sensation. So yeah, we'll be back next Sunday, I think. I think this was pretty successful, and I think we can make this a weekly thing. We'll just see how well the VOD is received. Like I said, we're not gonna raid, because, yay! We're not gonna raid during these streams, because I don't want people to wake up from a sudden loud stream. So we're just gonna end, alright? Once again, thank you all for being here. I wasn't sure how this was gonna go. I think this is a fun idea, though. I think we can have a lot of fun with this. And I will talk to you more on my next stream. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow night. I think tomorrow is a little bit of Stardew, so look forward to that. Alright, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful night. Next time, the stream will hopefully go on for longer. Okay. Thank you for being here again. I know I've said it so many times already, but, you know, y'all's support is why I keep doing this. So, you two, thank you so much. Because I would not be here without y'all liking my silly content, and I hope I can make more art and more fun content in the future. And I'm going to try to do that. And I think this is a good part of the next step for that. So we're going to end here. I hope you all have a wonderful night and pleasant dreams. Bye-bye. Don't depend on the approval of too much others, though. I have mental illness, so that's a little bit tricky, but I will do my best. Yeah, I know it's a spiral. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just very sick in the head. But it's okay. I'm managing it. All right. You'll have a good night. Sweet dreams. Bye-bye.